Today, we're going to learn how to solve systems with a new method. It's elimination. So the elimination method, as it says up here underneath the screen thingy, there are reasons why we might use graphing or substitution or elimination. So this is a review. We already talked about this last class. So we will use graphing whenever we have our equations and they're in y equals form. So we'll use graphing when they're in y equals form, and we call that slope-intercept. That's what we did on our warm-up. It's in y equals mx plus b form, slope-intercept. We will use substitution. This is what we did last class. We use substitution when we are either x equals or y equals. So we have one equation that's either x equals or y equals. Today, for elimination, this is a new method. Sometimes it's easier to do elimination. So elimination is when your equations are written in standard form. Standard form. If you're written in standard form and combining them would cancel one of the variables. And that might not make sense until we actually get to a problem. So standard form, and we combine them for a variable to cancel. So next is a table just so that you can see the difference in being written in slope-intercept form versus standard form. So slope-intercept form, what does that look like? Y equals what?
Y equals mx plus b.
Thank you. Standard form is a little different. It looks like this. AX plus BY is equal to C. So look at example number 1. Do you see how it looks like there's a column for X's and then a column for Y's, and then there's equals something on example 1? Do you see how that's not slope-intercept form? You've got X and then Y and then equals. Do you see that on example 1? Terrence sees it. Thank you. So today, the blank method, which method are we learning about today?
Standard form.
Look at your title. Elimination. The elimination method is often called the addition-subtraction method, because with elimination, you get rid of or cancel one of the variables by adding or subtracting. So it's also called the addition-subtraction method because it's by adding or subtracting that they disappear or get canceled. Yeah, take the box. Today, our brain break is probably going to be really boring for you, but I'd like to introduce my family. I haven't really done that yet, so I would like to introduce my family to you. It dawned on me that I hadn't really actually done that yet. So this is my beautifully blended family. Does anybody have a blended family? Okay, so you know that sometimes it's a nut house and sometimes it works out nicely. We're no different. So we are a blended family because we both come with our own children. Last year we decided to finally get married and call it a real deal. This is my husband. He's Santa, by the way, because he does fun stuff like dress up when I tell him to. And these are his daughters, Jade and Scarlett. Jade is at college at UTSA. She is 19. And we have Scarlett, and she is 13. She's in 8th grade. These are my kiddos. This is Trey. He is almost 21. Brendan, he is almost 19. And Audrey, she is 11. I have this picture up here because she is also a cheerleader. This is why I don't have like very much after school tutorials. Anybody that is an athlete or in the band or drill team or anything like that, you do anything extracurricular, you know that it needs a lot of your time, so. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, she has some kind of after school practice, so I gotta go. And that's our lovely family.
Do the math. The steps for using the elimination method. First, we need to make sure that the equations are in standard form. The variables must line up. That means that you must have the X column and then the Y column and then the equals. You must have the X column, the Y column, and then the equals. They have to be lined up like that. So that's what this means. You've got your X column, your Y column, and then the equal stuff. We're going to combine the equations by adding or subtracting. It's just whichever thing it has. So this is like a 4 and then that's a plus because it's not a minus. This is a -2 plus 2. So you combine them. We're going to use the substitution method after we combine because we want to get rid of X or Y. One of them will cancel. And then we'll use substitution to figure out the other variable. So that's a lot of directions. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense until we actually do it. Step 1, or question 1 to yourself. Are these equations in standard form? Are they lined up? Like that? Yeah, they are. So it says, if not, we need to fix it. But yes, we can combine them. So what that means is that we're going to go to put these together. We go line by line. Which variable is going to cancel if I add them together? Why? Do you see how we've got -2 plus 2? What's that make? 0. So doing elimination method eliminates one of the variables. In front of the X, if there's no number there, it is a 1. So when we go to combine these, it's a 4 plus 1. So we get 5X equals, what is 12 minus 2? Just +10. And then now I solve for X. It says after combining, do I have X equals or Y equals? Well, no, but I can make it X equals or Y equals. So if no, solve for X. So we're going to solve for X. So now we need to divide by 5. So what does X equal? X equals 2. So my solution is always X comma Y. So I know the first part of my solution. So now use substitution to solve for the other one. I have to plug it in. I have to plug in X is equal to 2. You can choose whichever equation that you want to. I'm going to plug it into the second one just because then I don't have to multiply it by 4. So I'm going to take the second equation, I'm going to plug in 2. And I will solve for Y. This is a 2-step equation. I'm going to have to take the 2 over. It's +2, so I will subtract it. -4, and then my very last step. What does Y equal? -2, very good. So I know the second part of my answer. And that's the elimination method. Is anybody still copying this? Oh, but there's more. This is my second best friend. My husband. My second best friend, this is Jackson. He's so fluffy and perfect. Except for the missing teeth. He was just born without them. I didn't know dogs could be born without like adult teeth. It's kind of a weird thing. We like to take him hiking and we like to take him out.
He is a people. Has anybody ever had a Great Pyrenees, or you know somebody that has had a Great Pyrenees? He's a different kind of dog, I promise you. He's like a person. I will have to get another one before he dies because I will be wrecked when he dies. He's my favorite. There are some days when he is the only person I want to be around. He's my favorite. So let's continue. More math, on to the back. Are these set up to eliminate something? Is something going to eliminate when I add them together? What's going to eliminate? Y. Yep. Good job. Good eye to spot that. So if I have one and I take one away, those will cancel. I can add the one next to this x. So when I add them together, 2 plus 1 is 3x equals 9 plus 1 is 10, and that would make 30. What's my next step? Very good. Divide by 3. What does x equal? Very good. So the first part of my solution is 10. My answer is always x comma y. So now that I know what 10 is, how can I solve for y?
Plug it in.
Plug it in. So I want to plug it into the second equation because then the y isn't negative. You can plug it into whichever one you want, but I'm going to plug it into the second one because then the y isn't negative. So 2x plus, oh, not x. I need to leave myself a space to put. I'm plugging it in. So I am taking that 10 and I'm plugging it in. It is. So 2 times 10 is 20 plus y is equal to 19. I just have one step. Yep. Uh-huh. The next problem, is it set up so that something's going to cancel? What? Yep, this time the x's will cancel. Very good. So now we just go through and combine the equations. So 5 and 4 makes 9. What's negative 10 plus 1 or 1 minus 10? Negative 9, all right. So now if we divide by 9, what's negative 9 divided by 9? Negative 1. That's the second part of my solution. And now that I know why, I can go plug it into one of the equations. The equation I plug it into, it doesn't really matter. I think I'm going to plug it into the second one because when I plug it in, I don't have to deal with this negative 6. But I mean, really, it doesn't matter. Actually, it doesn't matter. Maybe I'll plug it into the first one.
So, but which one?
Oh, okay. Yeah. I will plug it into the second one. So 6, I'm going to leave myself, nope, we're not plugging in for x. Nope. 6x plus 4 parentheses. Okay. And I'm going to take that negative 1 and it's what goes here for the y. So I've got 4 times negative 1, that makes that a negative 4. Two-step problem. So I've got to take care of the minus 4, so I will add 4. What is negative 10 plus 4? Negative 6. We just have one last problem. We've got negative 6 divided by 6. What does x equal? -1. Y'all starting to get the hang of elimination. No, not yet. Some people like it, some people don't. Oh, everything about math is so much fun. Is anybody still copying this down? There's more. So this is my son and his family. So this is my son and his wife. Their theme for the baby shower was Game of Thrones. And this is my granddaughter. We're not sure, but we don't think she likes sushi. She does like watching TV with her puppy. But she's really adorable and I love her. And I'm gonna get to see her this weekend, so I'm very excited. So that's my granddaughter, my first granddaughter. We don't have any other. Just one. A little bit more about me. Do what? Mhm. Another problem, it says just because equations are in standard form doesn't mean you're ready to eliminate. Oftentimes, you have to make a small adjustment first. Are these set up to where something is going to cancel? Not yet. Like they are x and then y and then equals, but like -4 + 1, that doesn't cancel x. And 9 and 3, that doesn't cancel. So sometimes what we have to do, are the equations in standard form? Yes, but will combining them eliminate the variable? If no, fix it. That's what we're going to do here. If no, fix it. So then we look at, okay, I've got a choice. I could multiply, I look for ones that have alternating signs. So see how that is plus, and then this is, or that is minus, and this is plus, or this is plus, and this is minus. They have to be opposite signs to make it work easy. And then I look for if you can multiply one of the equations to turn into something else. So like if I multiply this whole equation by 3, well then it would be a -9 and they would cancel, right? So we could try that, or you could multiply the bottom equation by 4 and then the 4s would cancel. So it's really up to you. Do you want to multiply by 3 or multiply by 4? Okay. We got 3 and we have 4. Who else? Okay, 2 for 4. So what we're going to do is we'll multiply this whole bottom equation by 4. So it's going to distribute times 4, all of it. But we're going to rewrite both equations. So both equations have to get rewritten. The top one, we're not doing anything with it. I didn't do anything with the top equation. I just rewrite. The bottom equation, I'm going to distribute in that 4. So it becomes 4 times 1, which is 4x. 4 times -3 will be -12y. And then 4 times -6 is -24. Do I have a variable that will cancel? Which one? The 4s will cancel with the x, yeah. So then I have -12 plus 9, or 9 minus 12. What does that become? -3. And then I have -24 plus 9, or 9 minus 24. Nine minus 24, and you guys have a calculator. But -15. We have one last step. After combining, do you have x equals or y equals? No. So now we're going to have to solve for y. What is a negative divided by a negative? Yep, very good. 15 divided by 3. is 5. So we know the first part of our solution, the y part is going to be 5. Now I can take that and I can plug it into one of the equations to solve for x. Which equation is going to be easier for us to solve for x? The bottom one, because there's nothing next to the x. So I'm going to take that equation and I'm going to plug in what I just got for y. So I have x, negative 3 times 5 is negative 15. I have one last step to get x by itself. I can add 15. I have to add 15. What do you guys get? You're good. The next thing that we're going to do is go work on questions 5 and 6 on the homework first. But before that, let me stop this really quick.